What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another gameplay video where today I'm covering my new favorite deck, which is Blue Buggy, and we are up against the purple Enel. This is a replay from duelvoyager.com, so if you want to save your own replays, go ahead and check out the site. I left the link in the description below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, but without any further ado, let's just get right into it. So they got to choose to go first, which is a little unfortunate, although I am happy to go second. That's often what I want to do anyways. So right off the bat, they are dropping their Satori. They're using the effect to minus a Dawn to be able to draw one, and then they pass it over to me. And unfortunately, I don't have any 2 Dawn characters that I'm able to play down. So I just toss them onto my leader and then pass it back to my opponent, who just uses their leader's effect immediately to gain a bunch of Dawn cards. And then they attack with their 1-cost character, so I decide to counter out of that one, and then I'll take their Enel swing. They do drop a Holly, which is really annoying because they're going to have double attack, plus they can give all of their ohms double attack as well, so I'm just going to have to watch out for that as the duel goes on. I drop a 3-cost Ivankov, and luckily I hit a Mr. 1 off the top of my deck, so I'm able to play it right out, so I'm feeling a little bit more confident now that I have some field advantage, but still I don't have a blocker, so my opponent displays a few cards, and then they use their leader's effect after playing a few more events to remove my Ivankov, and after I play down a Prisoner of Impel Down, they actually pop my Mr. 1 as well. So that's really terrible, and I have just a few cards in my hand. I at least have 1 body on the field, but they're able to use their leader's effect now, and then they attach literally everything onto their Holly, and they go 10 at life. So I don't have a choice but to take this. So I'm feeling really terrible already. I'm down to 2 life cards, they're still at 5, and they have a pretty massive board with a blocker, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Now, they just attach their Dawn cards because they're going to use some more of their events, and then they actually rest my Prisoner and then freeze it, so I can't even attack with it next turn. So they attack with their leader. I'll counter out of that one at least, but I have literally nothing going on this turn. I only have my leader, so I put some Dawn cards on. I need to attack over this Holly, or at least force the blocker out. So I put 4 Dawn onto my leader, I go 9 into 6, and I get them to use their blocker, which is good. And then I play down my Mr. 2, so I'm drawing a card. I at least have something going on next turn, because I don't know if he's going to attack over my Prisoner, and even if he does, I'll be able to replace it anyway. So we're just going to have to see how this next turn goes. Now he throws down an Ohm, and I was expecting him to just stack everything onto his Holly again, but he did search a few times, and then he uses his leader's effect, and he actually stacks it onto Ashura. So I was pretty happy that he's not just trying to go into my life again. I would have been able to counter out, and I definitely would have, but it still would have forced a lot of cards out of my hand. He attacks for 5 and then realizes he needs to stick 1 more onto his Shura, and he attacks for 6. So I just give him a 1k so I can keep an extra 2k in my hand, and then he detaches them all so we can use some of his events. It's just a manual simulator, so he needed to put them back in his Dawn zone to be able to use them. It's not really a big deal, but he does attack over my Bon Cray after resting it, so I just use my leader's effect and play down another Prisoner, and then he uses Gamma Knife to lower my other Prisoner by 5,000, so he's able to just attack right over it, and I'm left with basically the same position I was in last turn, although at least I can attack with this guy. So I do try to get over his Holly by going 8 into it, and he discards 2 cards, so I just go 6 into it and hope that I'm able to get over it. I really didn't have any other choice. I needed to fill up my field this turn, and Mr. 3 wasn't really an option for me because he can just attack with any of his characters. It doesn't really matter which one he chooses, so freezing 1 effectively does nothing. So I'd rather play the Buggy down on the field to be able to draw a card and play another Prisoner down onto the field, which is actually going to be a blocker too. So he plays another Holly down, and he does have an Ohm, so I'm a little worried he's going to start attacking with his Ohm, and that's exactly what he does. So he stacks some Dawn cards onto both of his characters. He's just going wide, which I thought was actually pretty smart to try to get some cards out of my hand. And so I do use a blocker for one of them, and then I counter out of his next one before he attacks with his leader into the Prisoner that he just lowered. So I do just let it go because I have my leader that I can just play another one down right away. And then he passes it over to me. He only has 1 card in his hand, although he still has 5 life cards, so I can basically have my way with him this turn. I stack 2 onto my Prisoner so I can attack into his Ohm, which is actually at 6,000 power during my turn. It's really annoying. So I was guaranteed able to get over him, and then I go 6 into his other one just to get the characters off of his field, and then I go 6 at life, and he takes it, and then I go 7 at life, and he takes it again. And so now I do play down the Mr. 3, so I'll be able to use his effect and draw 2 cards and also freeze his Holly, so he won't have that double attack for next turn, which I was really worried about. I do use my leader's effect as well to fill my field with another prisoner, which is going to be a blocker because of the 5-cost Buggy, and then I also play down just a 2-cost blocker just to help keep my life safe if I really need it. He plays down his 6-cost Enel, which is able to search him, a Lightning Dragon, so he's able to keep one of my characters rested again. It's just a super annoying thing about Enel. He's able to constantly freeze my characters, making it harder to attack into his life, even though I'm already attacking into his little characters because I have to, because they're always such a big threat. It's just so annoying. So he's just using his events to cycle his hand and lower one of my characters, and then he uses his leader's effect to attach them all onto his Shura, and then he plays down another Ohm, which is boosted by that Holly. So now he's able to attack into my Buggy, so I'll just counter out of that one. I'm trying to keep as many cards on the field as possible. My active prisoner was lowered because he didn't want me to just free block with it, so he attacks into my life with his leader instead. And I do give him the 2-cost blocker because there was no way I was taking a life card, and I wanted to keep my Mr. 3 in my hand so I could use it this turn on his Enel. I do start attacking first with my prisoners just to start getting some cards out of his life. And since I'm trying to end the game pretty soon because I'm worried about my own defenses, attacking for 7,000 seems to be the most efficient because they'll have to get rid of more than just a 2k, and they don't have many cards in their hand, so they might not have any 2ks in the first place. I was actually right, and they do discard 3 1ks to get out of one of them, so I just keep the attacks coming. I do keep one of my prisoners as active so it can be a blocker for next turn, but then I throw down my Mr. 3, and then I use his effect to freeze his 6-cost Enel, so he won't be able to attack with it next turn. And with my last 2 done, I just throw down a Mr. 2, because I want to have as many attacks next turn as possible, and I know he's able to freeze, I know he's able to pop, so I just want to make sure that I have as many characters that might be able to attack as I can. So he's able to grab that Lightning Dragon to make it so one of my characters won't be active next turn, and then he uses his leader's effect and attaches it all to Ohm and attacks me, and this guy actually does have double attack, so I just counter out of this one. And then he takes all of his Dawn off because he's about to use some of his counter events that put Dawn back. And then he rests my prisoner, and then he freezes one of them, and then he freezes another one, and then he attacks with his Holly. So I counter out of this as well, and then he attacks with his leader. I might as well counter out of this as well. And now I'm feeling pretty good because I have a really big field, despite the fact that 2 of my characters are rested. So I'm just going to attack for 7 right here and force 2 cards out of his hand. Now I can attack for 7 again, and I make him take his last life card. So just to be a little safe, I'm going to attack for 9, and he's not able to counter out. So we were able to take that one after a really difficult beginning of the game where we didn't see a lot of things that we needed, and we even took one of his double attack swings. So this is what my deck looks like. I just have so much fun whenever I play this deck, because it's super easy to fill the field with your Prisoners of Impel down, because when any of these guys leave the field, you can easily just throw them down. Well, except for Jozu, I guess, but he's still a really great card because he's removal, and once you bounce that character back to your hand, you can just play down a prisoner in its place. Same thing with Miss Olive, of course. She's really great for fixing your hand too, if you either saw too many of your prisoners or not enough, which does happen sometimes, funny enough, even though you play 20 of them. And she's just great because she's a blocker, and Buggy's also great because he gets a blocker on your field as well. And these blockers are pretty important because your opponent sometimes just stops attacking your characters once they realize that it's pretty much futile, because you're just going to keep filling your field no matter what they do. I play a lot of these small bodies because you really want to see one right in the beginning, and the 3-cost Ivankov is really nice because you can play one of those 2-cost ones off the top of your deck. And also, if you don't see a 2-cost, you can still choose to put it on the top or the bottom. So he's kind of a pseudo search. He lets you fix your hand at least a little bit. And also, whenever he attacks, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, you're able to draw as well. That's another part that I really like about him. The star of the show is probably the 4-cost Mr. 3 though, because he's able to draw 2 cards, and then your leader allows you to replace himself with a Prisoner of Impel down, but he stops one of your opponent's characters from being able to attack next turn, which is just extremely helpful with so many annoying characters that now have like unblockable. Like, what is this? So you're able to handle some of their smaller characters and then just stop one of their big guys that are harder to get off of the field. So you can kind of just ignore them and just keep attacking their life. and then soon enough you just have too much to overcome and you win the game. So let me know what you guys think of my list in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're wondering what I'm playing on, this is duelvoyager.com. It is the best place to play One Piece online. You can save and share replays, you can spectate live matches, and you can even unlock alt arts like this buggy that I have here. If you want to play in an online tournament, I host one every single week, so go ahead and join my Discord. But anyways, if you're still here, you're the best, and I'll see you guys next time.